Okay. So it's 9:30. So call the meeting to order. I haven't chaired this meeting before, so I just go through the agenda. Motion to adopt the agenda for the closed meeting of September 11th. So move. Second. All in favor. Okay, the minutes. Motion to adopt the minutes of the closed meeting of April 3rd, 2024. So move. Thank you. Second. All in favor. Okay. And so just question quickly. Do we vote on things, and who all has a vote? Or do we just talk? Like, I don't even know.
Hi, Councillor. Yes, you can. Everyone.
Heather was just trying to answer. Sorry, thanks, Heather. But okay, sorry. Who's talking now?
Hi, through the chair, Councillor Galanders. Yes. So you guys can just go through the agenda, and there's you can vote on each of the items. Usually, it's just for information. So.
Yeah, it's not really a big deal. But do I? And so I have to look for a show of hands, or
yes,
everybody has a vote. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so the standing item, Joint School District City Management Committee, core and RSD staff is the first item. Who speaks to that?
I'll jump in here. Cindy, your team usually speaks to, I guess, the various committees first, and then we jump in afterwards typically.
Okay, thank you, Todd. I think the first item is the Joint School District City Management Committee. So I think that's a committee who, the key members, I believe, is Rick Ryan, our previous deputy superintendent who retired during the summer. I don't believe they have met since the last council board meeting. But I think Miriam is here. I understand. I know our staff have been working with the city staff on various issues before and after during the summer. Miriam, do you want to jump in there?
Sorry. I hate to keep passing the baton on. I believe this is a committee that Rav is going to take on for this year. So we had a great meeting in June. That was our last meeting, and shared some highlights of initiatives throughout the year, both with the school district and upcoming programming for the city in the summer. And Rav is going to be taking the school district lead on that moving forward.
Can you just say for the minutes what Rav's last name is and what their position is?
Joe Hall.
Thank you.
If I may just clarify, I just wanted to confirm what agenda item we are on here. The agenda that I have begins with the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee on the open agenda.
That's correct.
Okay. I don't have the open agenda. Alexa who sent me the closed agenda. Sorry, guys. I have this closed agenda, and that's all I see.
We're on the closed agenda. The open one for the next meeting after.
We are doing open, Councillor Galanders. Through the chair, we'll email you the agenda right now. But the first item is the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee.
Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so I just have the closed agenda here, so that's why I was doing that.
This is Elizabeth Ayers. Maybe I'm going to jump in and suggest that Sonali starts on the Safety Advisory Committee report, because I know she'll be ready and raring to go on it while you get the agenda through the email there, Laura, and that will
okay, thanks.
Moving.
Thank you, Keith, for getting us on track. Sorry about that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Madam Chair. Happy to get things kicked off as we embark into the new school year and our new meetings. Yes, I do have some updates from the recent Traffic Safety Advisory Committee meeting that took place in July. You do have the minutes, the detailed minutes of that meeting in your agenda package, but I wanted to provide highlights about the safety measures being undertaken and discussed at the committee, and especially as they relate to school zone safety as we start the new school year off this September. What we heard at the last meeting was preparation by the RCMP's traffic unit, and they have plans to conduct school patrols and make that the school zones, a priority this month. They'll tend to hotspot locations, especially near elementary schools, and also some of the other schools that have chronic congestion issues along their frontages, for example, at Burnett and so forth, and help everyone arriving at these locations to set the expectations and follow the traffic rules and keep things orderly and safe for everyone. As part of their initiative, they're also working with ICBC to conduct road safety campaigns to have everyone up to speed on the expectations around school zones and how to drop off and pick up students safely for throughout the year. And I just talked with Sergeant Basquet last evening, and he did indicate that his teams are out and visiting various schools right now to help promote safety around school zones, and will continue to do that in consultation with the schools and PAC members, as well as other road safety agencies like ICBC, as I mentioned. Some other updates from the meeting are related to traffic calming measures. So these are interventions in the roadway that have been implemented on local streets in the city to help deter and slow down vehicles. And some of these locations are near schools. And these interventions and countermeasures to speeding, they were done in development with area residents, not so much to address a speeding issue, but to make the roads more comfortable for walking and cycling. That certainly helps promote trips by foot or by bike to schools as well. I'll just highlight some of these locations. The first one was along Kittiwake Drive. So this is just off of number 2 road and connects to Westwind School. So there was 2 speed cushions that have been implemented for a while, and we conduct post-installation speed studies, and the results have shown that the vehicle speeds have come down significantly after these measures were implemented, and area residents are satisfied and supportive of these measures continuing on their roadway. So that's taken place as well on 2nd Avenue in Steveston. So this is the section of 2nd Avenue near Lord Byng School between Steveston Highway and Chatham Street. And through a neighborhood consultation process, the speed along that stretch of roadway was reduced from 50 kilometers per hour to 30 kilometers per hour, and 2 speed humps have been installed on that roadway to reinforce the lower speed limits. And the third one is in the coming weeks. We will be installing 2 speed cushions on Springfield Drive. So this is the roadway off of number 1 road that leads and connects to Manoa Steve School, and that was done in response to resident requests as well. And we continue to work with area residents. Our traffic calming process is very community driven, and look for opportunities to address concerns by residents going forward. And at the same time, we continue to work with school principals to address and mitigate any issues that should arise during the school year around school zones as well. So that concludes my update for today.
That's great. Good report. Heather, you got a question?
I do have a question and comment. I've noticed the what do you call them, speed cushions rather than speed bumps, and
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed with them actually. I'm glad to hear that they can stay if you notice that difference. I wasn't sure if they were something that was removable or whatever. So thank you for that. My question is, if you would have the patience for me around Burnett, when it says, I believe the main problem is parents are stopping and dropping off their kids and it's causing traffic issues. I'm trying to picture, where is that actually on Granville or Railway, or is it on the street that comes up that meets Granville and Railway?
That's another part of Granville.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That's where they're dropping off.
That's what we've heard from the school in response to addressing and reducing the likelihood of that. We did implement some measures with delineators, and we work with enforcement, and that's actually what one of the schools that is a location. I believe the RCMP were out even yesterday afternoon at that particular school to help reinforce and remind parents that there's plenty of parking and drop-off opportunities on site, and to keep traffic flowing on Granville Avenue, where they were tending to drop off and pick up. So we're continuing to work with the enforcement piece to address that issue. And if I may just take the opportunity regarding the speed cushions that you've noticed, yes, they have been very effective. They are relatively new technology. And we worked with our Richmond Fire and Rescue folks to develop that design. And what it does is it creates a vertical deflection so that it slows down all passenger cars and vehicles. But for fire response, there's some gaps that allows those trucks to travel unimpeded, so it doesn't reduce their travel response time. So it's relatively new, and we're happy to see that it's been working effectively.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for the information.
For sure. Thank you.
David Yang, you have a question?
Thank you very much. Yeah, just a quick question. Thank you very much for the report on the traffic committee. And so on the subject of traffic calming, I certainly am happy to hear that we have these measures in these three areas. Are there any parts of the city that we're also looking to do more of this? Because it's also a more citywide issues from the conversations and that's been happening in the community and with myself. And so understanding that this is something that parents care very deeply about across the city.
Yeah, absolutely. Road safety is paramount, and it just addresses so many of the other objectives that we want to see for the city with respect to how people travel and feel comfortable to do so, and promote alternate modes, and achieve Vision Zero objectives, and a whole bunch of other things that just generally creates a very vibrant and inclusive community. And so this process is ongoing, both with respect to engagement with each and every school, with meetings and consultations with principals. But we also have many of these initiatives underway for other areas that we've received comments and requests from residents. And absolutely, this process to implement traffic calming measures to reduce speeds on local roads is very community driven.
Great. So if there's no other questions, could somebody please move that the traffic report be received for information? And second, all in favor? Great. Thank you. Okay, so our next item, now that I have the agenda, is the childcare update. Chris Dugan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm here to provide a brief update on the work that has been currently taking place within the childcare portfolio here at the city. We have just completed a very successful public engagement strategy on our draft childcare strategy. This is a new 10-year strategy that was presented to council in principle earlier in the spring. And we've since then gone out and done another round of engagement to confirm that the vision, priorities, and actions do align with the community's priorities in this area. And we're just in the process of reviewing all of that input that we received through a Let's Talk Richmond survey, some public focus groups, as well as some committee conversations. And we'll be taking back a final report to Richmond City Council later this fall for their endorsement. Happy to provide a presentation to this committee once that strategy has been adopted, if that is something that the committee would find helpful. We also have our childcare grants opening today. So 2 streams of city grants available for not-for-profit childcare operators. The first is a capital grant stream, enabling childcare operators to upgrade or replace necessary equipment to meet the intent of the childcare licensing regulations. And the second stream is related to program and professional development. So looking at organizations who may be delivering professional development within the community for early childhood educators and childcare providers. Those grants are open for 6 weeks, and we will be circulating that information widely in the community, including making sure that the not-for-profit childcare operators that are operating in school sites are also informed of that information. And then finally, we are also in the process of recruiting individuals to join the Childcare Development Advisory Committee. This is a council-appointed committee that provides advice and support to Richmond City Council with regards to childcare issues. So we're looking for some new members for this year, either childcare providers, early childhood educators, or parents in the community. Again, that information is posted on the city website and widely available. If anyone wants more information, I'm more than happy to provide it.
Thank you, Chris. Any comments or questions on that for Chris? Okay, seeing none, motion to receive the childcare update for information. Thank you, Heather. Second, all in favor? Great, thank you. Okay, our next item is the item 3, Joint City and District Program Committee. Keith Miller.
Thank you, and through the chair, good morning, everyone. The minutes for the most recent Joint City and District Program Committee meeting are attached, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that any of you may have. I'd also like to highlight that the program committee has been continuing to meet on a regular basis and to share and collaborate on the various programs and initiatives that improve the well-being of students and youth and children and their families. One specific example that I'd like to highlight from our most recent meeting is the Participation Community Challenge. This is an annual challenge that takes place all across Canada during the month of June to encourage Canadians to get active, connected, and promote well-being. And this year, the city, the school district, Vancouver Coastal Health, and numerous other community organizations work together to get those that live, work, and play in Richmond physically active. And I am very proud to say that for the second time in 3 years, Richmond was recognized as BC's most active community. And we were also subsequently informed that we only just missed Canada's most active community. Quite obviously a very exciting achievement for the community. I'd like to give a huge thank you to the school district for their participation and for everything that they do to get children and youth active in our community. The work we do together is immensely helpful in that regard. We are already excited and looking forward to next year's challenge and leveraging the momentum from this year's win in BC and certainly now setting our sights on Canada's most active community. So looking forward to working together on that initiative. Our next meeting is scheduled for October 16th, and I believe, as Miriam had just noted, Rav will be taking over the helm at the school district. If either of you have anything that you'd like to add, please feel free. Thanks very much.
Thanks for that. It is very exciting. I have a question. Do you know what it would take for us to edge up to the best in Canada? Like where can we do it?
That's a great question. There's a whole variety of factors that they take into account. And this year, the those factors changed a little bit. One of the biggest things that was looked at this year was the involvement from other organizations and the activities that they are doing to get more people active. And I think we did, fantastic work in this area, but more would be required for us to tip over that into that first place category. So certainly we'll be focusing on that and reaching out to our community partners to be able to do more in the community that way.
Heather?
Yes, so all the different activities like kids sport and you see a lot of running clubs and things like that.
That's exactly right. Any of those organized activities could contribute to it. The big key there is ensuring that those organizations are actually registering to be a part of the challenge, setting up those activities, encouraging their members to get active, and then logging that participation. And so this year, the city worked very closely with our community partners to assist them in doing so. And many of the schools throughout the community participated in the competition, registering, their school sports days or other activities that the schools were doing. So,
excellent. Thank you.
Welcome.
Ken?
Okay, it's not to be overly competitive, but just curious, who is #1 in Canada?
I don't recall off the top of my head.
Okay.
Elizabeth, Kirsten, do you remember?
Yeah, it was Hay River, Alberta, I believe.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. One more question. Is it only kids activities, or would adults, like the Sunrun clubs, could register and register their participation? And
yeah, thank you. And through the chair, that is, it is open to all. Certainly, our work with the school district obviously focused on children and youth, but it is open to everyone of every age to be able to come on out and get active.
Heather?
One more. So small private gyms that can they plan things community wise and get something going, things like that too?
Yes, thanks. And again, through the chair, yes, any organization in the community could get involved. And so small gyms to, large soccer associations, everything in between. Okay, thank you.
So if I might just jump in on there, for example, the more schools that register individually, the better for us, I believe, right, Keith? So,
that is correct.
Having 5 schools register is great. Having every school in Richmond register and participate is even better. So that might be one of the ways we can get a leg up next year.
Cool. Ken?
Keith, I'm involved with minor hockey. So if we had all the teams register on their own, that would make a difference, correct?
Yeah, I think that would. We certainly worked with minor hockey this year, and I believe they were a participant in the program for what they were offering at that time of year, though, which again, June, a little bit different. So
some
spring programs, yeah, exactly.
Well, hockey's nuts. That goes 12 months a year, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Rod? You're still muted, Rod. There we go.
Thank you very much. And I'm just curious, is there any program with regard to this out of school youth? They are not, I don't think they are organized or any member of any organization, but do we have a program for them? Because I think there's a great need for out of school youth to participate in our city.
If you're speaking about through the challenge, certainly one aspect of this would be other organizations like the city promoting activities that we have available for youth, whether they are, in school or out of school, and the opportunities that they could provide or participate in that regard. And outside of the challenge, I would say that those are similar initiatives that we work on to get youth active in our centers and throughout our community all throughout the year.
Thank you.
Okay, so if there's no more questions, then we'll move that the Joint City and District Program Committee report be received for information. Second, all in favor? Thank you, Keith. Okay, the next item is future agenda items. I don't know if there's any speaker on that. But last month it was noted that, or last meeting, that an accessibility update was recently received and would be provided to the school board as part of the partnership with the city in addressing accessibility. I don't know if that's been done or if that remains on the as a future agenda item. We can just note that in the minutes from last time and it'll come forward when it comes forward.
Through the chair, so Councillor Gelanders, I can ask Mel Berner to come and give an update on accessibility legislation and what the city is doing with regards to advancing our council adopted accessibility plan and the other initiatives in progress. So we can put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Wonderful, thank you. So that can be noted in the minutes for next meeting. And anything else on future agenda items? So then we move on to agenda items number 5, Richmond Community Wellness Strategy. There we go. 2018 to 2023 progress update.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, everyone. I am here today with Rav Johal, Director of Instruction Student Services with the Richmond School District.
Thank you, Kirsten, and very pleased to be alongside Kirsten, Close Manager of Aquatics and Community Wellness.
So Rav and I are excited and honored to be here to provide an overview of the Richmond Community Wellness Strategy Progress Update that was provided to City Council in June 2024, and to highlight some specific ways that the school district and the city work together to contribute to this important strategy. To begin, we wanted to start with a short video that was created for the 2022 and 2023 Wellness Strategy Progress Updates. Missing audio.
Diversity, feeling safe.
There you go.
Sorry, I was unmuted, so it didn't work. So I'll start back from the beginning. Apologies.
No worries, thanks.
For individuals, wellness means balancing our physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being. At a community level, wellness means living in harmony with others, respecting diversity, feeling safe, supported, and included, and feeling a sense of belonging in our community. In 2018, Richmond City Council endorsed the Community Wellness Strategy. As a designated global active city, Richmond is committed to promoting healthy, active lifestyles to prevent chronic disease and promote well-being. Developed collaboratively by the City of Richmond, Vancouver Coastal Health, and the Richmond School District, the strategy provides a plan to improve wellness for Richmond residents and outlines 5 focus areas. 1, healthy, active, and involved lifestyles. 2, physical and social connectedness. 3, equitable access. 4, safe and healthy environments. 5, wellness literacy. In 2021, Council received a wellness strategy progress update, and now in 2024, the 3 partners are sharing updates from 2022 and 2023, reaffirming their commitment to advancing wellness for those who live, work, and play in Richmond. Improving access and opportunities for physical activity, healthy eating, and mental wellness are important to promoting healthy lifestyles. Richmond offers a variety of ways for people of all ages to stay active. From guided walks, like the Walk, Listen, Record digital storytelling project, to the Story Walk Library program, to cycling events, like the Island Sydney Bike Tour. This annual event showcases new and existing cycling infrastructure in the city, all while fostering a sense of camaraderie among cyclists of all levels. Healthy eating isn't just about eating better, it's also about knowing more about the food we eat. Community gardens are a great place to learn about and connect over food. Strengthening mental wellness takes a whole community. Foundry Richmond offers essential services for youth and families, making it easier for individuals to find the care, connection, and support that they need. Did you know that feeling a sense of belonging and value to the community is good for our physical, mental, and emotional health? But social connections between strangers don't just happen. Initiatives like the Neighborhood Celebration Grant empower residents to bring people from diverse backgrounds together, fund creative projects that build social connections, and break down barriers. Between 2022 and 2023, the Neighborhood Celebration Grant funded 28 school events, 33 block parties, and 67 community events and programs. Another way to improve wellness for everyone is by making it easier to access community resources. In 2022, the Social Prescribing Program was launched to connect patients to non-clinical support services throughout Richmond, such as specialty exercise classes or music programs. The Library Champions Project, hosted by the Richmond Public Library, trains new immigrants to connect with other newcomers to community resources. The program has connected over 13,000 newcomers to resources and opportunities in the community. Many new programs have been launched that focus on reducing barriers. The Recreation Fee Subsidy Program helps Richmond residents of all ages who experience financial barriers to access recreational programs. The number of participants in the program continues to grow, and in 2023, there were almost 3,000 participants. Also in 2023, the Richmond School District launched the Feeding Futures program, allowing more students to excel by providing more healthy and nutritious food options at school. Our natural and built environments play a critical role in our health and wellness. And now, wayfinding is easier too. Since 2023, the city has installed park identification and wayfinding signage in over 50 parks and trails, enhancing visibility and safety. The mural program has become a popular feature, adding vibrancy to public spaces throughout Richmond. With 10 more added between 2022 and 2023, these murals foster community connection and cultural exchange across generations. Improving wellness literacy empowers people to better navigate health and wellness resources. The city continues to offer a number of programming options, such as the 55 Plus Activate Wellness Fair and Go Day. In 2022, Richmond residents enthusiastically participated in the Participation Community Challenge, logging 9.7 million minutes of physical activity over the month of June. This strong community spirit resulted in Richmond earning the title of British Columbia's most active community. Richmond residents came out even stronger in 2023, surpassing their 2022 active minutes by 20%. And for the second year in a row, Richmond was selected as one of the 50 finalists for Canada's most active community. These are just a few of the highlights from the Richmond Community Wellness Strategy Progress Update 2022-2023. Through collaboration with Vancouver Coastal Health and Richmond School District, and in partnership with other community organizations, there are a number of projects on the horizon that will continue to foster a more active, caring, connected, healthy, and thriving community for all who live, work, and play in Richmond.
Thank you, Rav. So in addition to the initiatives that were mentioned in the video, there are many other ways, including some that were mentioned there, that the school district and the city work together to accomplish the action items in the community wellness strategy while contributing to the well-being of students and school staff teams. One example is the cycling education program, which is a collaboration with Hub Cycling to facilitate cycling education courses for grades 6 and 7 students, with the goal to reach all grade 6 and 7 students at all elementary schools over a 2-year cycle. So in 2022 and 2023, 3,428 students across 37 elementary schools were reached through this program. Of particular note is that Hub's fleet of bicycles includes a range of adapted bicycles for children with physical and cognitive differences, with the goal of 100% participation. The city also works with the school district on many aquatics initiatives. In addition to providing swimming pool space, it's a tongue twister, to high school swim teams for training and competitions, as well as offering public swim and aquafit classes to Richmond High's life skills students. The City of Richmond continues to partner with the school district to prepare students to be water safe for out trips and camping trips that take place on or near the water. This is a 90-minute program that teaches students the swim to survive standards, so things like treading water or rolling in deep water, as well as basic self-rescue, rescue of others, how to choose a PFD, boating safety, those sorts of really important skills. Next is the Children's Arts Festival, which annually on Family Day, actually, Rav, we can see your notes. If that matters. Annually on Family Day at the Richmond Cultural Center. The festival includes a school programs component in the weeks after the festival, which historically took place at the Richmond Cultural Center. However, transportation was becoming quite a large barrier for schools to participate. And so in 2022, community centers were added as satellite sites so that students and their teachers could walk or ride their bicycles to their local community center to participate in the Arts Festival activities without having to make arrangements for vehicle transportation. So due to its success, that practice continues today. And I'll pass it over to Rav.
Thank you, Kirsten. So as you can see from that video, we have some really phenomenal murals that have been added over the 2022 and 2023 years, including murals at 4 schools, Maple Lane, Mitchell, and Garden City Elementary Schools, as well as Lord Byng. Students and school staff all contributed their ideas to determine the final design. And what we have featured here is the Mitchell mural, which is Movements That Make Us by Ben Evely in 2023. And the one at Lord Byng, which is Facets of Byng by Phil Studio in 2022. And it continues to be a successful delivery method in addition to the ongoing work that has been committed to these different murals. In terms of student wellness collaborations, one of the ones that we're very proud of that was reinstated in 2023 was the After School Art Truck program. And that's a partnership program between all partners in which arts and physical activity programming is delivered to children in the after school hours on school grounds. The focus is on school connectedness and belonging and providing unstructured play as a means to promote mental wellness and play, particularly in a time that many students may otherwise be alone at home or in the community. In 2023, the Art Truck program returned after a 2-year hiatus, which was due to COVID, and it was offered once a week for up to 14 weeks to approximately 60 students at both Cook and McKay elementary schools. We are now currently working on adapting and expanding the delivery model so that it can be scaled up to reach a greater number of students and be financially sustainable. We are hopeful that the program would be held at multiple schools twice a week for a minimum of 6 months, with elements in place to tackle equity and decrease barriers for underserved students. Another example of student wellness collaborations are the community services pop-ups. So on a monthly basis, the city organizes a pop-up for community members at Brighouse Library to connect with community-based services in a safe and welcoming space, hosted by the City of Richmond and the Richmond Public Library in collaboration with community organizations. Some of the services and supports available include navigational support for addiction services and affordable housing, as well as application support for government assistance. In 2023, the school district's Integrated Child and Youth team, also known as ICY, who are part of a Pathway to Hope, the provincial strategy to improve mental health and substance use care. The team participated in these pop-up events. And given that ICY teams are relatively new to the province, with Richmond being the pilot site in the Vancouver Coastal Health Authority, it was important to continue to raise the profile of the team, particularly to community members who could learn about an integrated continuum of care with clinical counselors and youth peer support workers from the school district who work closely with colleagues from Vancouver Coastal Health and Family Smart.
So in terms of what's next for the wellness strategy in 2024 in our current year and beyond, first, the strategy's original lifespan of 2018 to 2023 has been extended through 2025, largely due to our shift in focus during the COVID-19 pandemic, and to subsequently provide partners with opportunities to kind of pick up where we left off. We do have several projects and initiatives currently on the go and on the horizon, including scaling up of the after-school art track program, which Rav mentioned, as well as the launch of an active healthy living campaign called Stories of Wellness in Richmond, where we will be profiling a diverse range of Richmond residents and their personal wellness journeys. Also in 2024, the city launched water safety education sessions in elementary and secondary schools. They were very popular, just launched in June, and we will be continuing these workshops through the 2024-25 school year.
In addition to supporting the Art Truck initiative, this school district looks to continue to expand its community schools initiatives that support after-school programming with numerous community partners that are really geared specifically for intermediate aged elementary students throughout the city. And as you also saw in the video, with respect to Feeding Futures, all school districts in BC secured funding from the Ministry of Education and Childcare to support food security initiatives starting last school year. The mandate is to expand breakfast, lunch, and snack programs. And in School District 38, this has included the installation of one community fridge in each school for students to access healthy, nutritious food. The school district did collaborate with a range of community partners, including the Minaroo Senior Society in 2024, which operates the city's Minaroo Center for Active Living. So in 2024, and again, this work will continue into our current school year, the Minaroo Senior Society prepared 350 meals for 4 schools, including students in alternate and Indigenous programs, and that partnership will continue in the 24-25 school year, looking to expand its reach.
And finally, as this iteration of the strategy comes to a close, a final progress update will be provided to Council in the first quarter of 2026. In closing, thank you very much for this opportunity to share some highlights from the Community Wellness Strategy Progress Update and to demonstrate our collective impact in improving the well-being of Richmond residents. We are happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
I can't see if anybody has their hand up because of the screen sharing thing now. Oh, there we go.
Heather here. I do have well, more of a comment and a question. The Richmond Community Wellness 2018-2023, I don't even want to call it a brochure, but going through it, it was excellent. And I didn't go through it as a trustee. I went through it as an individual in the city who's a senior, who swims, bikes, all of that, has children, knows people that get involved in all sorts of areas. And I thought, this is excellent. The information, the way it was laid out, it was actually pleasurable to read and quite informative. And I just wondered, how does that get out to everybody? That's my question.
Yeah.
And is there something,
Yeah, we did do a news release related to the progress update, as well as the video, and that publication that you're speaking of is available on the city's website. And we've sent out the link to various community partners as well in an effort to try to spread that information.
Okay. If I could ask another question, would that go also somehow connect, like say through Vancouver Coastal or something like that, to seniors' residences and things like that? Not resident, like the Maples or Gilmore Gardens, things like that?
Not currently in a targeted way.
Okay. I really think it's excellent.
Thank you.
Fabulous job to everyone. It's really well put together, and I think it's inspiring. And for people that don't realize that art trucks are out there or this is available, we could really hit number one. Anyway, thank you.
Any other comments? Rod?
Thank you very much. By the way, thank you very much also for all the support and the programs for the schools, for our school districts. But another area in our members in our community that I think I'd like to know whether there is strategy for seniors, especially those who are suffering of the dementia and mental illness, between the community and or I think somebody mentioned about housing and transition areas, where between the hospitals and before the nursing homes, any services, any strategy for mental health or mental wellness for them, because I've heard from our community so many needs to be met for these members of our community. Any
Yeah, it's
information
Alexa
with
here.
regard to that?
Can I just say something? We have a number of strategies, and they're actually all on one page, and I can send you guys the link for the Richmond website. So we've got an affordable housing strategy, age-friendly assessment and action plan, a Richmond art strategy, childcare strategy, our community wellness strategy, cultural harmony plan, homelessness strategy, poverty reduction, Richmond accessibility plan, seniors planning and strategy development. So I think that's where you're talking about seniors. We have a social development strategy, and we have a youth strategy. And our youth strategy was done in collaboration with work from the school board as well. So we have a whole bunch of strategies that really do inform how we're running and the programs we operate and how we're trying to run the city. And so we can give them all to you. And maybe that's also why, while the wellness strategy is a great one, we're not printing all these up and handing them out to everybody. They're all available for people to look at because they are quite lengthy. And they are available, and we're happy to have everyone be involved in them. But I'll send you guys the link to this so that you can kind of delve into them at your leisure, because they are similar in length to this one, to this wellness strategy, and they're quite comprehensive strategies.
Thank you,
Councillor Lou.
Kim?
Thank you, Councillor Jalanders. To further add to Councillor Lou's comments, the Community Social Development Department works with vulnerable populations. So we are responsible for the oversight of the seniors area from a policy perspective. So work closely with Parks, Rec and Culture in actioning out the council adopted plan, the senior service plan. There's also a dementia friendly plan that we work with the community organizations and Vancouver Coastal Health to advance those actions, as well as a number of actions within our age friendly plan. So we'd be happy to answer any further questions at a later date with regards to that. Further to Councillor Lou's comments with regards to the social development strategy, we are in the process of updating that strategy and anticipate to have a draft strategy presented to Council later this fall.
Thank you. Okay, well, that was very comprehensive and great presentation. Can we move to receive that for information? Second, all in favor? Great, thank you. Okay, so now we have business arising and new business. Do we have any new business? Okay, seeing none, then the next committee meeting date is November 6th at 9:30 a.m. by Zoom. So move to adjourn the open meeting. Okay, so we are adjourned. And I don't know who leaves for the closed meeting, if anybody does.